So we're gonna work with you or what, Alan?
That is Alan.
I'm sorry, I meant Tom.
It's okay.
Tom. No, I meant the two of you guys. at
It's
the
okay.
same
We look
time.
alike.
So much alike, really.
Turn it on, cook it up, make it boil, let it soak. Is it hot? Is it cold? What degree? Spill the tea.
Dad, I'm filming my podcast. Okay, if you think your home is chic, wait until you hear from Alan and what Alan Chorm has to say. Director of Ornare, New Jersey, is about to drop and pop off. We're talking about luxury interiors that make the space feel like a 5-star resort. Because let's be real, who doesn't want their home to feel like the ultimate oasis? I mean, just look how he's dressed. That's how your home will feel. Ornare is the go-to brand for next-level design, whether it's creating jaw-dropping kitchens, custom closets, or just making every inch of your space feel like it's straight out of a magazine. Alan's team behind some of the most exclusive projects, and they just landed. Oh, should I announce that? We are going to announce it, right?
Let's talk about it.
We're going to
Let's
talk.
talk
We're going to
about
spill the
it.
tea. So I'm going to hold that tea.
Yeah.
I'm going to hold that tea. That will be the tea we spill. All right. But we're not just talking high-end design today because Alan isn't just about luxury. He's about creating spaces that speak to you. And he's also one of my dearest friends and oldest, longest friends in the industry. We're diving into everything from how we went from real estate to running Ornare's New Jersey division, the biggest mistakes people make in their home, and the interior trends that we can all agree that need to be left behind in the past. Also, I'm making Alan play Rate My Design and some fun, rapid questions that we have for you. And since we have an almost decade-long history of loving each other, we have a lot of tea to spill. So stay tuned for Alan Chorm, director, founder. I'm kidding. Alan Chorm of Ornare, and one of my besties. All right, welcome, Alan.
Thank you for having me. I'm so proud of you, by the way. This is amazing.
I'm proud of you. I'm so proud of you. And thank you for being here. And it's our first episode with our new Tea with V covers. Smile. We love it. So Alan Chorm. I mean, not only is he a beautiful Cambodian prince, but we go way back. We met how many years ago? 8?
Maybe over...
Almost a decade?
Yeah, almost a decade.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now, as the world manifests itself, like we like to do, we live in New Jersey together.
I know. Crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
We are just two old New Jersey suburban women.
Girls and gays.
Girls and gays.
Yeah.
And we have a lot that we want to spill. We want to talk about Alan's new venture here, Ornare, and how he mixes both worlds of real estate and design with his beautiful partner, Tom, who I'm obsessed with, who's a Jersey boy, and the new life that we're creating here, because I think Jersey gets a bad rep.
Does.
From like the shows, right?
Yeah, I think Bergen County specifically is very different.
Yes.
People
don't get that.
I don't think so. No. Like, you grew up here. Mm-hmm. Right? I think you see the changes.
Yeah.
We just moved here in September, and we've met so many people, and so many people who are New York City transplants.
Yeah.
And, Tom, my partner, he grew up in New Jersey. So he, I was hesitant of coming here. But, as soon as we moved in, met our neighbors, I realized quickly, like, it's kind of like the next Brooklyn.
Wow, I like that. Yeah. I think it's better, but I agree with that.
I think so too.
Okay, so Susie, you know Susie?
Yes.
She is Operations of Eklund Gomes, also a bestie of ours. She would always say, because like back in the day, people would be like, oh, you guys are from Jersey. And we like bonded on being Jersey girls. And Susie's famous line that I love is always like, I don't even want them to get it. Like, I don't want the people to know and come over here. Like, stay where you are if you don't get it. Because you just,
First of all, I'm so nervous. Oh my gosh.
Really? Oh, it's just
I need
us.
to, I know.
We're having water.
It's just a microphone in my
It's
face.
just a
and this
microphone.
whole setup is so professional. I
It's
love
just
it.
me and you and some people behind the camera.
No, I know exactly what you mean. I think that I was very hesitant because of the stigma attached to New
Right.
Jersey. But I think that's changing.
Yeah.
I feel like it's changing. And I feel like being here, meeting you full circle,
Right.
and everyone we met so far, it feels like a different environment.
Agreed.
You know?
I mean, for us natives, I feel like it's the same. It's not changing. I'm just like, wow, I'm older now. I'm like the part that I looked at and didn't think I'd ever come back. Honestly, I was like probably snobby about it myself after moving to Manhattan and being there. I'm like, I'm raising my children here. I'm never leaving. And I would always say, I'm never going back to New Jersey or Bergen County specifically, or Old Japan, the smallest town ever that I grew up in. And now, as an adult who sells real estate and knows what things are worth and the value, I'm like, I get it. I get why my parents raised me here. And not only is it third lowest taxes in Bergen County where we live, but it's the best school systems. You're so close. I could go on, but you're close to the city. And like, what I love that we were lacking is us, like our fun crew that we have, what we started making here, and our new Gals and Gays social club we're gonna have, like that. It was
Can't talk
lacking.
about that yet.
Okay, I
Yeah.
won't spill yet. But speaking of full circle, let's go back and tell them like how we met. What is the story of how we know each other, just to give everyone context?
I want to remember. I remember, but I want to know your version of the story.
There's probably a few.
Yeah.
Because also we were young and it was crazy days.
Yeah.
We
were young, ambitious, getting into an industry that was very cutthroat.
Yes.
Or still very cutthroat.
Yeah.
And
we had a lot to prove, or we thought we did.
I think we were both in two different high producing teams at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can mention names, but they were not so nice people.
Yeah. A lot of not nice people.
And I remember walking into the lobby and seeing you, kind of in distress.
Wait, I don't know this part. Okay, tell me.
And I think it was just like, a New York City real estate deal or something. And no one knows what goes on behind closed doors.
No.
We're like,
it looks glam.
yeah, we're sort of like people's therapists
And
too,
crazy ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, crazy. You got to be crazy to be in real estate. But
the lobby where? At a New Dev or at the office?
it was at 17th Street.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My first memory is when we met, like when we sat down intentionally. And it was at the Greek coffee shop.
Yes,
in
the one in
Tribeca.
Tribeca, right next to your old apartment. I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was it called? The Greek? No.
No,
Greco.
it was Greco.
Greco.
Yeah.
Okay, and we sat down, and you were like, I have a proposal for you. Like, we're young. Like, let's do this together. Or like, let's just lean on each other, basically, and like be friends. And I'm like, yeah, I want to be your friend. Like, let's do
I
it.
remember sitting. That's so crazy because I like, whenever I see like this is my perspective. Like
Right.
I like being a creeper, seeing you in a lobby, and I'm like, oh, you know what, like. I see opportunity, so like let's chat about business.
That's what you
know what I mean?
did.
So you remember that part.
Yeah.
I remember the creepy part.
Before.
Where I'm just
You're like, she needs help. She needs a friend.
That's really
But you're like,
Yeah.
I relate. And
Yeah.
we sat down. I'm like, yeah, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, how can we work together? And it's funny because like we never directly worked together as like business partners or on a listing even, but we somehow circled back to being on the same team. We were on Eklund Gomes together.
Yeah.
But we knew each other from before then. And you sort of became, even before then, like a confidant for me in the industry. Like I always say that real estate is a very lonely industry. Even when you're on teams, like you're still an independent contractor and it could feel very lonely. And so just to have that person that you could talk to about a deal or complain about clients or, we were new, figuring out even how to navigate a deal or what to do. And especially in New York, like you were saying, the nightlife is just part of the job, right? Going out all the time and how to survive that.
I mean, it was fun, but
It was fun, but
I mean, do you remember
trauma.
Oh my gosh, if we can unpack so much trauma.
Do I remember what?
Chris Peters' super broker class.
Yes, we were in that together.
Yeah, I remember that.
Holy shit, Chris Peters, shout out to you because you were still one of my biggest mentors.
No, I love him.
Love him. But do you know I still have that paper,
The vision board.
the 5-year one?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. And so he gave us because we're big manifestors. Obviously, we wouldn't be friends if we weren't. But we took this, what was it called? The class?
Super broker.
Super Broker by Chris Peters at Douglas Elliman. And you had to get in, whatever. He picked certain people.
The most difficult office to work in.
Yes.
You not
Most
just anyone
competitive,
gets
right?
most competitive, but also you don't just get hired, as a new agent. You
Right.
have to be producing. You have to be,
Have contacts,
qualified.
whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Some of the above.
Yeah.
So Al and I were in this class. It was probably 10, 15 people around the table. And one of the first assignments he gave us was, okay, here's your 5-year plan. And it was literally 2017, 2018, 2019, so on for 5 years. And we had to fill it in. And I remember him saying, for some reason, why this sticks out. I mean, obvious reasons, but he said, be as specific as a Chanel bag if that's what you want. From what type of listing, if it's a $12 million listing in Flatiron, or if it's a team you want to be on, the income, your GCI you want to be producing, down to the piece of jewelry or watch you want to wear, a Chanel bag. Be as specific as possible. And a lot of my stuff came true on that 5-year plan.
It really works. No, I mean, I remember it was us and a group of 10 men.
Yeah.
And they're all, it's sort of show and tell. We all were talking about our vision boards.
Yeah.
You go to Staples and pick up
Yeah.
little,
Yeah.
we were what's arts
Yeah, we had
and
to
crafts.
present.
Yeah, and mine is better.
Right?
I'm
Yeah.
in our 20s doing vision boards and stuff, but it works because you have to if you're headed towards a path, you have to kind of see it. You're driving, you want to, you have it's like driving in a fog.
Yeah.
If it's foggy, you might miss a turn, right? But if you have a navigation, a vision board,
Get clear on it.
you have some certainty,
Right.
and you know where your destination is.
Right. I love that. I mean, it's true. I'm very big on even writing the number of deals I want to do per year. To this day, I still do. What I want to take home. And it's just having that number in your head per year that you're looking at, down to, that Chanel bag I want. Right?
Did you get it?
Of course I got it.
Yeah.
Of course that was I remember my 70 vestry present.
Yeah.
After some of those checks hit, I was in Paris. And I was I'm going to the original Chanel and buying myself a nice treat in 2019. And that's the year I wrote it in.
Wow.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't even know what happened to my vision board, but I did remember writing down those notes. And I got lost along the way.
Right. Same.
But I think full circle, if I pulled up that list, I think it probably accomplished maybe 80% of what I wrote down.
Agreed.
So
why don't we do that again this year?
yeah, we should
Vision board party.
I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So he saw me in distress in a lobby. We had coffee, became friends. Our friendship went beyond real estate. I remember that first year we became close. I was through my first pride party
Oh my gosh.
in my 200 square foot apartment with Carly. Do you remember that?
Yes.
We were hanging out the
Yeah.
window.
Oh my God. And then all I remember was a lot of alcohol.
Yeah.
And just afterwards pouring into the street of West Village.
Yeah.
And dancing with Maria
Yeah.
at the bar.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Troy? I forget where we went.
can't remember.
I was living in
Yeah.
Gansevoort, but then Alan followed me from my Gansevoort pride parties to my Tribeca ones,
Yeah.
to Carly's Bowery, to Tie-Dye Bait. We've been together many years.
A lot of history there.
A lot of history.
Yeah.
Remember when we went to what was that bar in the West Village? And the the guys from Oh my God,
Monster?
I'm blanking. No, it was near there, but it was like a nicer Highlands.
Oh yes, that's the bar.
Yeah.
That's the bar I was dancing with.
Okay,
Maria.
yeah.
Yeah.
And some of the cast of some show was there, and we were like fangirling, and you had the courage to bring us up to him. Oh, from Girls.
Oh my God, yes, Andrew Reynolds.
Yes.
But you have such great memory because
Yeah.
I completely blanked on that.
I
until
remember
just now.
weird shit. Like,
Yeah, but I'm like a
things that don't
savant
matter.
when it comes to like face
Right.
recognition because I'll recognize a celebrity in the street.
Right.
That's the beauty of New York City is that you run into like everybody.
Yeah. You know what's funny too? Like Bravo Junkie, right? I remember one year I was walking in Soho and I saw this guy and I was like, oh yeah, I know him. But like being in real estate, do you know him? Like, did you show him an apartment? And I was like, hi. Like went up and waved to him thinking like I literally know this guy. But he was the husband of one of the housewives. But
my
I
God.
thought I knew him, but I didn't.
I had those awkward moments.
Right?
I did it to this act. Do you know Aaron Tveit?
I don't know.
He's on Broadway. He was
Okay, maybe.
I can't remember what movies he's in, but
I
he's
saw his
he's
face.
recognizable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I was just on the phone and I got on the subway and I saw him and for some reason I thought he was a friend or something. And I was like, "Oh my God." And like stopped in front of him and he was like, "Do we know each other?" And I'm like this
Maybe?
awkward interaction. I'm like, no, but I know you.
I love your
And,
work.
like, yeah, and like walked away. Like that's me. I'm just so super
That is
awkward.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were a lot in the same.
Yes.
Okay, so the man behind Ornare, New Jersey. Tell us, I guess, about you and Tom and crossing the Hudson River and launching your baby.
Yeah. I mean, do you want the long story or the short story?
Any story you want to
I'll
give.
try to.
I'm here to
so
listen.
let's start with me and Tom. We met on Hinge. And at the time I was living in Midtown, right across the street from the Baccarat Hotel. And it was actually full circle. I had a Zoom interview with a casting producer for the show, the real estate sort of Sex in the City inspired TV
Sex in
show.
the City meets Vanderpump Rules.
Yes.
Remember, that's what
Yes.
they said.
Yeah, exactly. And the prompt was like, have a couple of drinks,
Right.
Be authentic.
Right.
So I had a few drinks.
Yep.
And, I was a little tipsy and I get on Hinge and I meet Tom and I'm like, all right, low commitment. Let's go meet across
That's
the
a good
street.
segue. Low commitment.
Yeah, I have an escape.
Right.
I could just run across the
Right.
street. So we meet for a drink, and I was already, at my very I couldn't have another drink
Right.
before getting
Tapped
really
out.
sick. But no, it was really. I mean, he was very caring, and I'm like, you know what, this is very nice, but maybe this is not what I'm looking for right now. I wasn't completely committed yet, especially because he was from New Jersey. I know. Yeah, I know. It's but there's a lot to unpack there because
Yes.
I love New Jersey.
I
right
know
now.
you do.
And I have to say, I had dinner. I have ADHD.
Don't
dinner
worry,
with a
same.
friend
Yeah.
the other day, and he was just like, "You don't have to justify moving to New Jersey."
I love that.
Yeah, and I'm like, because he's like, you can love both. You
I
can love
know.
New York City, and you can love New Jersey. I'm like, I do. I love both for different reasons.
Growing up here, we were
Yeah.
in the city all the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're basically in New York City,
Right.
That's how I see it.
Yeah.
Is that you're so accessible to New York City, but I think the quality of life is better.
Duh.
I mean,
Yeah.
we don't own a $10 million penthouse in Tribeca, but I think
I mean, but you don't even have a backyard with a $10 million penthouse.
Agreed. Yeah, I think the greenery, like the pace of when
Like,
you wake
where's
up.
Alfie going to go run
Yeah.
around?
Oh my
He
God.
loves his snowstorms.
Yes. Alfie and the kitties.
Alfie's his son. Okay, back
Yeah.
to Tom.
Yes. But he was very persistent. And at the
love
time
that.
he was, he's a finance guy, worked at Bloomberg. And he was very supportive of my dreams. I wanted to add value, other than just being a real estate agent. I think at the time in the market, everyone was looking for like how they can add value as a real
Right.
estate agent. So I loved interior design, still love it.
Yeah.
And
And you're good at it.
Thank you. You too. But I don't think a lot of people notice about me, but just I'm very handy. I love construction as well, and sometimes I like to get my hands dirty. So I thought maybe I can like also start a construction business. So,
Love construction, Alan.
Yeah, and this is the very beginning of our relationship. He was just like, what? Is he in real estate? Is he in construction? What was he doing? And at the time, I got a project to renovate my first townhouse in Brooklyn. And he watched me like suffer hard. Like construction is not for these hands. Like I was.
You were like there with a hammer.
I mean, I wasn't like I was physically working, but I was on site, like managing projects and being very involved in construction, and I was sort of like a lesbian, so like, I know how to swing a hammer, and use power tools.
Honestly, you're just an all-around catch.
But I was doing that, and I said to him, well, we should like invest outside the city, like buy like an Airbnb or something, like, or a house like outside New Jersey, in New Jersey or wherever, right. So we started looking, and one of my closest friends, who is the son of the owner of the company, Ornare, he had just secured a store in Milan, Italy, and he was moving there. And he had heard that I was, thinking about moving to New Jersey, looking for property. And we were, over the course of like a few dinners with his wife, she came up to me and she was just like, if you're moving to New Jersey and starting a life there, and, we've been following you, like, knowing that you do design and construction and sales, and like, would you be interested in like franchising our New Jersey location? We like already built it out and everything. And
it was built out.
It was built out, yeah.
Okay,
so
incredible.
Like I came in.
So they were looking for you.
Yeah, they were looking for someone to franchise.
Yeah.
And I really believe in energies and how like place and time, which we got to talk about how this happened. But I was like, I never thought about that, because like franchise a business. So I came home and
Google.
Yeah. I Googled, I called people, and then I spoke to Tom about it.
I'm getting comfy, sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. This is probably the first time you're hearing the story too.
No, in depth, and I'm tuned in, I'm locked in.
And Tom was just like, this is very interesting, because, I've only known myself to work a 9 to 5.
Right.
And this might be very interesting.
We love Tom, by the way. He's a king.
He's when I first met him, he was driving a Volvo. He still drives a Volvo, and I always say safe and reliable.
Oh my God, I love him.
Yeah, and so he's.
At least it's not a Subaru.
No, then we would be really lesbians.
2 lesbians moving to New Jersey.
Yes,
with their animals.
Cats they just yeah.
Okay, so we're both ADD.
Which is okay.
All right,
it's okay to be ADD.
It is. Yeah. So she comes to you. She says, "Open this franchise to you and Tom," and he's like, "I've never known this life."
Yeah.
And he quit. How'd you get him to?
I know. As you know, the beauty is that I didn't really push Tom at all. I was already, I started this construction company. I was already working a little bit like in design consulting, like as a decorator. For clients I sold real estate to, and
like choosing like finishes.
Yeah, because I think you can be a decorator.
Yeah.
You have the taste.
Small projects like that. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people need that guidance. Like they have decision fatigue. And they just need someone who is experienced in seeing like aesthetically pleasing and good looking spaces, and they just need the minimum. Right. So it was helping clients guide, and he saw the business kind of grow, and he's like, I don't, as we're talking about a future, he's like, if we're moving to New Jersey, like I'm going to be commuting to the city, working at Bloomberg, like what's our trajectory?
Right.
And at the time we were thinking about just doing this as like an investment, but then we met with some people, and we started to kind of work before even signing the contract to purchase the store, and we fell in love. Like it was organic.
Like you felt it.
Yeah, we met like amazing people, designers, architects, and it just flowed really well. And I've had experience working with this company before, right? So
like on new devs or
yeah, exactly. You know,
I mean,
Ornare is
it's-
all over.
yeah.
They're in Hudson Yards.
Right.
All the major developments in Chelsea, in Brooklyn now.
I mean, it's
yeah.
fucking gorgeous.
Thank you.
Like there's
we're very proud. Like
nothing that compares to
Yeah.
me.
I think
from
so
what
too.
I see. Yeah.
I mean, I
Truly.
could be biased, but
So
yeah.
okay, bring me back to the moment like you and Tom are like, grab hands, jump in. You're like, all right, we're doing it. Like,
Yeah.
what did that feel like? What
Scary.
Like, what was going through both of your heads?
Sorry.
Don't
To
worry.
be honest, like I don't like, we lie in bed right now. We're like talking about it, and we're like, how did we get here? Because
Right?
like, honestly, like we're like what did we think we were gonna get the money to buy the store? You know, and like I had worked so hard.
But you just made it
yeah,
work.
we made it work.
You
know?
did it.
We made it work. We saw the opportunity. And you chase.
That's
You
incredible.
chase. Yeah. So
Okay, so advice to people
Yeah.
listening who are scared to like take that jump or leap or dive into something, do it.
yeah.
What's your advice to them?
You know, you never know. I think every failure leads to where you're supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like it's better to try.
I mean, even like love life, think about that.
Yeah. Right. As you're
Yeah.
dating, you realize like, okay, this type of person doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So like like you know what you want. I feel like, you know, like
Yeah.
when, at this point in our lives,
Right.
like we know exactly what we
Oh,
want. And I think
yeah.
that's what happened when you met Michael.
Yeah.
And what happened when I met Tom. I'm like, this is
I was ready. Yeah, okay.
I had a list and I'm like,
Yeah.
this, if you don't check these boxes,
Same.
like you're out. I'm
I
sorry,
had
I don't
my
have
list.
time.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I
Yeah.
let people be dateable that weren't and
Yeah.
had none of the boxes checked.
Yeah. And
We went through all our distresses together.
but that's the beauty of New York, right?
It is.
You get to
Oh my God,
experience everything.
We'll write our book one day. Okay, I want to go back to Ornare just for people listening who don't know the brand maybe. Like give us, you know, kindergarten level, but or just tell us about the brand. Tell us why it's so beautiful, why it's different, why is it set apart than the others?
So a lot of people don't know this, but Ornare was founded in 1986 in Brazil.
I love this story.
And it really feels still like a small mom and pop because even though each showroom is franchised, if you really look, every franchise is owned by a family friend, a relative.
Wow.
And it's funny because Tom and I are the second Americans to franchise because everyone else, when we hop on a call with
Oh my
the other
gosh.
franchisees, we don't speak Portuguese.
Right,
So
right.
there's like a language barrier.
Wow.
But you know, we made it work, and I think New Jersey was the only market that really required someone who understands the American market more,
Right.
and is truly American. But my friends' parents who started the company, they really pride themselves on like being very design forward, and that's why it was so important when they accomplished opening the showroom in Milan, because I really think it sets Ornare in a different caliber. You know, it puts them almost in the same caliber as all the Italian designers, if not better.
Yeah, I agree.
And the biggest thing that no one really talks about is that we are very much a sustainable company. We own and operate our own waste management plant.
Wow.
So 80% of what's manufactured gets recycled.
Okay,
and it
do you
doesn't-
hear that, all you sustainable people?
Yeah, it's. I think we're
That's
moving
incredible.
towards a design industry where people are more focused on healthy
Conscious,
material. Yeah, they're conscious of healthy materials and
What they're living in, yeah.
and sustainability.
Right.
They don't want things to end up in landfills and
Right.
You know,
and you're building product that lasts. Like
Yes.
think about Italy, right? Like or Europe in general. Like you're walking through, you're like, these have been here for how many thousands, right? And they're built to last. I felt like when we went through this wave or still are kind of these spec homes or the new devs that are just cookie cutter, just cheap, pumping out cheap material. You're like, these are not built to last. Like,
I agree. I mean, can we jump to Upper Grande? Only because you brought new developments, and I think
we will say yes. Well, I have one more
Yeah.
question about. I want to know about the showroom launch. So,
Yeah.
for those listening, amazing that came to New Jersey in Paramus is their new like design district, and it has like what's there?
Lazoni, Design Within Reach, Roche Bobois, Natuzzi,
Shade. What's
the
the
Shade
other one?
Store.
Yeah, the furniture that's above you
Above me.
or to the side.
Safa.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, and there's
It's
more
incredible.
coming. There's more coming. There's so much space available, and there are talks about having like a beautiful restaurant on the top floor,
Like a
TBD,
restoration kind of
sort
vibe?
of like a restoration
Amazing.
rooftop. But I can't say anything yet.
Yeah.
I'm just very close to the landlord.
That's
so-
some tea that he's spilling.
Yeah, so there's a lot coming to New Jersey in terms of like design, or resources for designers and architects.
Right.
You know, like something like the AD building.
Well, it's funny because back when I was on JP's team in Brooklyn, like, and she pretty much designs all of her new developments. Like, she works with her investors and developers down to the staging. And I remember it was my first year, and I was working in Brooklyn, and she'd give me like a budget, like here's this budget, we're gonna stage for this guy for, you know, the like Bushwick new devs going on. And I would drive to Paramus because all the stores are there, and just I got the design code, whatever. And like still, and then when I became friends with Blaine and she's in interior design, we'd leave the city, we'd go to Paramus, and now they have like a legit design district. It's incredible.
I think the market research shows that people are, you know, traveling to Paramus and seeking these resources.
Yeah.
When it comes to design, like we, you know, invested a lot of money. Design for Reach invested a lot of money into this design center, and we're seeing
It's gorgeous, by the way.
Thank you. I think it's going to be very successful.
I think it already is.
Yes, but I mean, I think the store. I mean, Design with Reach hasn't even opened yet. You know, and
Wow,
people are stopping in. They're inquiring. I see. You know, this one woman walked into the store the other day, and she wanted to design her house in St. Bart's. I'm like, yeah, we ship and we, you know, install in St. Bart's. And she's like, that's, you know, my neighbor, Adriana Lima is from Brazil. I'm like, oh, Adriana Lima lives in New Jersey?
Yeah.
Like, she lives in New Jersey.
I told you. It's like,
Or I think lived in New Jersey, or
it's a
has a
very
house in New Jersey.
it's a hidden gem.
Yeah.
It's a hidden gem. Okay, tell us, how does your real estate background influence your leadership at Ornare? How do the two come into play?
I think that, you know, there's the industry kind of runs parallel. Like you said, like with new developments, you wear many hats as a real estate agent. You know, you help with guiding your clients on design, even like during the construction process, even sometimes like with permitting and such.
Oh,
you know, I know JP does that.
The DOB or visit.
Yeah. So like you wear many hats, and I think also managing a team and growing a team. You know, our designers who work in a showroom, they're not just designers. They're trained architects. They're trained salespeople. So you know, it's like a one-stop shop.
Right.
You know, so they help guide. And I think for us, and for me, you know, working on major teams in real estate, I sort of saw that structure and what worked and what didn't work. And I think our trauma of working on these major teams and seeing how these big teams grow and
scaled at
rapid
pace.
Right. I want to do something different.
I learned the same thing.
Yeah. I think you're doing a great job.
You know, thank you.
I think we're doing a great job.
We are. We are.
Um,
you know, some days you need to hear that because you question it all, but slow and steady, right?
Right. Sometimes
right.
I feel the same way too, because sometimes like I feel almost impatient and anxious.
Agreed.
But you just have to practice patience.
When you think about it, you're like, we're still young.
Yeah.
But, most times I feel like, oh my God, what am I even doing? But I'm like, okay, look what I've done so far. We have so much time to keep chasing.
Doing.
Yeah.
And you're doing. That's
Exactly.
the major thing. It's just you're doing.
Exactly.
You just got to keep building and doing. And you know, like I said, every failure can lead to something that I feel like it redirects you to where you're supposed to be.
Exactly.
Like your energy, what you think you're supposed to end up might not be where your energy is trying to guide you. You
Yeah.
know, so your energy is sending out signals to everybody that you're meeting.
Right.
All of the connections. You know, like when we first moved to New Jersey and opened the store.
Law of attraction.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, like
It's a magnetic field.
I still think it's so crazy today. I lay in bed, and I remember when we hadn't even opened the store yet, and I sent you a text message because we just had lunch.
Yes.
And I said, "Oh my God, it was so good seeing you."
Yes.
And then you just called me right away, and you're like, "I'm sitting in front of my developer right now, and we're building right." And I was like,
Hello?
on the spot, like,
Yes.
like, okay, yeah, like we're building out this store, and you know, we'd love to meet with you, and you know, and one thing led to another, and so I you know, like, if I didn't send that text
like,
message,
chills.
yeah, if I didn't send that text
Yeah.
message, and you were literally sitting in the
And you
same
popped
table, yeah,
And I'm like, here he is, Alan, let's go. This is the job.
Yeah.
So, okay. And for clarity for those who are listening, Ornare, Brazilian founders, but why Milan? Based in Milan. So just explain all the
company, the family has roots, Italian roots.
Right.
So it was sort of like a return home.
Okay, I love that.
You know, like even though it's manufactured in Brazil, the family, the design, is very aligned with a lot of Italian craftsmanship.
Right.
So it was sort of like a big, well, we made it. We're home.
Right.
You know, and
I love that. That's
yeah.
even more meaningful.
Yeah, and I think the Milan showroom is very beautiful.
Oh my God.
One day you're gonna have to come visit.
I have so much FOMO. So there's a big
Design
design week
Yeah.
in Milan coming up, and because of my many trips to Europe, I can't make this one, and I already
happens
know
every
that I'm
year.
gonna be so sad. So yeah, I'll be there next year.
Yeah, next year.
The
Next
whole
year we're
team.
gonna plan it.
We're all coming.
Yeah, and I'll send out like an itinerary, and it's there's so much to do. Like every year, there's
Right.
even more to do.
But
you know?
follow Alan and Tom so you can watch them through Design Week for Ornare. And you know what I love about your brand, and I mean beyond like how it's built and the luxury and the name, right? The status, like it is for someone. I'm a girly who is not modern, right? I'm not the ultra modern sleek. I appreciate all the beauty of it, but it wouldn't be like, say I had an unlimited budget. It wouldn't be the house I built. I'm more like, I like the classic, traditional kind of vibe, right? Ralph Lauren, Nancy Myers.
I love it too.
But Ornare, it fits in both. Like it is a beautiful modern finish, but it feels warm and like at home and comfortable. Because a lot of times I think why I don't love modern maybe is because it feels cold or not I don't know. At home for me.
I see what you mean. I think that the new collection in our showroom is very contemporary, but they use really warm tones.
Yes.
Right. And although like
Like
the new
none of the
collection-
gray.
No. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's a design trend that's like.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the
Design
gray
trends,
is-
stop the gray.
Yeah,
Stop.
yeah. It's
You heard
No,
it here.
yeah.
Stop the gray.
no more grays.
Okay.
Like even a hint of gray. I mean, we call it grange now. 'cause
Grange?
It's like beige gray.
Right?
Yeah. So it has like warm
I like
tones
that.
to it. But you know, not a lot of people know we are building out a more traditional collection.
Okay.
In the back.
Oh, you showed me a little bit of
right,
that.
Because
Yeah.
we do have traditional collections.
Right.
We just want to make sure that, like, I think the demand for sort of a fresh contemporary style kitchen and closet is it's very prevalent now.
Right.
You see these beautiful like old historic houses, and the backdrop is like traditional, but then you put in like this contemporary kitchen and it
Right.
works. So it's
Yeah.
like a perfect marriage.
It really is.
You know, it gives the place like a nice like feeling of renewed energy, because sometimes like when you lean into like traditional aesthetics in a historic house, it can feel a little tired, you know, because
Right.
I think it almost feels like a historic house, like a museum, rather than like a place where people live.
Absolutely.
You know, so yeah, I think that there's a love and appreciation for transitional
Yeah.
and contemporary styles that blend with like a traditional backdrop.
Yeah, you guys really
Yeah.
hit the mark on it.
Thank you.
It's like you have to go to the showroom in Paramus. It is just you don't want to leave.
Thank you.
And they feed you like espresso and everything. So it's fun.
You make it a whole experience.
Yeah, and you get to be with Alan and Tom, so it's better. Okay, well, talking about design trends, that leads us into luxury design. And you work with the ultra wealthy, the ultra high net worth. Tell us what they want. So what does luxury mean in today's market? Like function versus aesthetic.
I think it's always form and function, right? So, when it comes to, there's a lot of new houses being built in New Jersey, and I'm talking about this market very specifically. And what I'm seeing is that I think people are focused on like having very minimal, clean lines,
Right.
Still organic tones, and functionality is very important. So having a clean finish, but the interiors are very functional. Like we do all the interiors of different like inner cabinetry, compartmentalizing, even trash recycling. Really just having like a functional kitchen.
Making life seamless
Right.
and
Yeah.
beautiful.
I mean, because you live in a space. Right?
Yeah.
What I also notice with these larger homes, because you don't deal with that really in Manhattan, is having two kitchens.
Everyone.
Yeah. It's,
And the two laundry rooms.
yeah, 2 laundry rooms, 2 kitchens.
Why have one?
Well, I mean, I'm talking about form and function.
Yeah.
But like the main kitchen, which, people can, you can spend up to $1 million
Right.
in this beautiful kitchen and it's not to be used.
Right.
Because
What is
the back
it for?
kitchen is like where you prep and
Yeah.
you entertain. And then
You hide the mess.
yeah, it's so interesting.
And then what like the showroom one is just for the entertaining.
Right. Yeah.
Love that. Goals.
So we're building showrooms.
All right, I'm putting that on my
Yeah.
5-year plan.
2 kitchens.
2 kitchens. I always say to Michael, like, I know it's just a stupid pot filler, but when we have that, we'll know we made it. Like, we'll know that, okay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I didn't understand that before. I get it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, it's beautiful. It's delicate. There's a lot, I mean, hardware, mixing metals.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
mixed metals.
Yeah.
I mean, you could tell my wrist stack, but I love mixed metals.
Yeah. It's like jewelry.
Okay, biggest design trends right now. Tell us what's in and what's out. Like, what is the biggest misconception about designing? Oh, also, what is the biggest misconception about designing for high net worth clients? But tell us the ins and outs.
Hey, put me in a spot. I think, like I said, I think people are the demand for a refresh.
Yeah.
A more contemporary feel rather than the old.
How often do you feel people are doing the refresh in their home?
I think very often.
Years. Give me a time frame.
I think every 10 years, 7
Okay.
to 10 years.
That feels good.
Yeah, I think design, evolves, right?
Yeah.
And especially with kitchens, we're starting to see the houses and apartments that were renovated in 2008 starting to feel tired.
They are, yeah,
and
for
the
sure.
colors and
You can just tell.
Yeah, and I think people are they're looking for something more. If they're leaning into the more traditional aesthetic, I think I wouldn't say traditional, I would say transitional, because it's not the historic aesthetic. I think people mistake that because it looks traditional, but if you pay attention to the details, it's actually transitional.
I love that.
There's little contemporary handles and things in functionality that make it more modern and contemporary.
I feel like because of your deep rooted, experience and history in real estate, you can really, really your clients will benefit from working with you because you keep them from making those mistakes of what you see going out easily too.
Yeah, I especially with new development,
Right.
I would love to see developers really, leaning into designing with good materials, and focusing on design forward kitchens and baths,
Right.
because I think that obviously it's a money making business, right? So you want to make a profit when you're developing, several houses to sell. But I think the market demands, and the buyers are looking right now, they are more savvy. They're like looking at the materials used now. They're
not just believing what you're telling them, right?
I mean, you go to new developments in Manhattan, and they do really, they put in quality kitchens,
right?
Brand names.
They used to not always.
They didn't always, yeah. And I think the Manhattan buyers, this is what we want.
They're more sophisticated, leveling up.
Yeah, and this is why it demands its price. So I think all the new construction in New Jersey, I think people are like seeking that because they're coming from the city.
They're seeing that, right?
Yeah, so they're more critical.
I like that though.
We have people come in a showroom who purchased a brand new build, and they want a brand new kitchen from us. So like they spend millions on this house.
I know.
And then they gut the kitchen. I mean, I'm doing it. Yeah.
But I say like to a lot of our clients who are building, like either wait for the buyer to come in and then they could choose with you, and they'd never want to do that because a lot of people want to cut corners, and you know what? I don't want to work with those people anymore because I don't want to sell shit product. Anyway, in a phrase.
Hey, you're just being real.
Right?
I feel the same way. Like
you want to sell quality.
Yeah.
We care about what our clients are buying, right? Because most likely we're gonna sell it again for them, and we want to get value on their money.
Business. It's like, I feel it's relationship over transactions.
Agreed.
Right, and I think that's how you do business as well. And why you continue to do business is because it's the relationship and how if you're honest and authentic and you guide people correctly, they come back to you and they're like, oh, I appreciate that honesty.
I mean, look at my father, right? We're celebrating 40 years this year in the business.
I love your dad. He's so funny and well dressed.
Right? He's obsessed with you. Also, it's so funny because people are always like, the way he dresses, and I'm like, he's a broker in real estate. Like, yeah, he looks good. He has a daughter and a wife who shops for him.
Gotta be presentable.
Exactly.
Respect. Yeah.
So like 90% of his business is repeat return clients because of just the relationships he builds with them. They, like growing up, even his clients were our family friends, like became family, like in each other's lives for a very long time. And I think that's what you're also great at.
Yeah. I think it's so funny because we were at a site visit with one of your clients and your dad, and he was talking about, all their, I'm not going to give names, of course, their prior partners. And I'm like, you've guys known each other for this long and know like intimate details like this. And,
I don't know who you're talking about.
Okay,
tell me later. Spill it
when
later.
The cameras are off.
Okay, so before we move on to spilling our tea about the fun stuff, sum it up for us in one phrase. What is in? What is out? So tell me what's in.
Contemporary's in.
Okay, like that.
Out is grays.
And tell us what is contemporary for people listening that don't know. Like, describe it for what is the look?
It can mean a lot of things, right? Contemporary, I think it's I think people are looking to get rid of clutter.
Yeah.
And contemporary is a sort of it's not exactly modern because it's like what's contemporary is really what's trendy right now. What's trendy right now is the use of color and vibrant colors, even tone on tone, but clean lines and just less clutter.
Yeah. I also feel like your brand, more than just an aesthetic what the eye can see, it like for me at least, it gives you like it creates a feeling, like you feel something, right? Yeah. Like when you're in that, like I can't explain it, but it's like more than just an aesthetic look.
It's art.
It is.
Well, someone mentioned, I mean, you hit the nail on the head, is that design and art really are hand in hand because it's like, it's a feeling.
Yeah.
Right. It's whether it provokes a feeling.
Right.
When and I think that's why people are so or our generation are starting to lean into design and appreciate design because,
Right.
you know, color tones in a room, in a bedroom, in a kitchen, they create a coziness, nostalgic, and happy feelings.
Yeah.
And feelings, you know, it's your mental health. It's your, you know,
everything.
everything.
Starts at the
Yeah.
home.
Yes.
Is it
does.
like, I didn't know if that was just because like design is like porn for you and I, but does everyone get that amazing feeling?
Everybody does. Well, you know, in the age of like social media,
Right.
you're constantly scrolling and seeing all these like beautiful spaces, and you're like, I want this space, and I want.
You know
this,
who
and-
I'm doing
yeah.
that with right now? Who you just introduced me to, Martin Fulton Designs. Like
I love
that's
Martin.
my vibe. His home looks like that is going on my vision board. Like that is my vibe.
I think. I mean,
Have you been there?
Yes, I've been to Martin's.
I cannot
I love
wait.
his. I think Martin has very unique taste. Where I think I mentioned him as like, you know, like where there's like Instagrammable design, and there's like eclectic, like very unique to you design.
Yeah.
And like I think that he like does that really well. It's
He
like very
does.
stylish to
Super
be able
stylish.
to. Everything looks kind of found, but very curated, but like not.
Like
Yeah.
too much, like not,
not too curated.
yeah.
Right. It works.
like not in
you
a
know?
fake way. It's like
But that's
so
design.
authentic.
That's
Yeah.
really design. It's someone's creativity. It's a work of art. You know,
I mean,
but it's still like
the way he
evokes the
dresses,
feeling.
even it's like that's probably how his
He's a
home
fashionista.
looks.
He's
Yeah.
the fashion couple, the
The
fashionable
fashion
couple.
Well, they'll be on soon, so stay tuned. And will you come to his house when we go?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Amazing. We're gonna do.
I saw that
a show
tag.
there. What? Yeah. Okay. So actually, quick break because we are going to get some celebratory tea to sip.
I might just give her but you know what's worse?
Thanks for that brief intermission, but we got some rosé for you, of course. Champagne. I said sparkling
love it.
rosé. It's not. Okay. It is Friday. So, and Alan's here, who's my favorite fabulous. So that's why we're drinking this. But also, you always pop a bottle when you're celebrating something more than just life. And we are spilling tea. I wish Melissa was here. On, you spill it.
Upper Grande.
Upper Grande. Upper Grande.
Upper Grande. Yeah.
So, our biggest new exclusive development that is coming up in Rockleigh that Melissa Prez is heading. They were just in the craziest bidding war negotiations between two companies. We won't mention the other, but Ornare was one of them. And, you know, the developer even said that was probably one of the craziest, like, closest negotiations of my life. And obviously he's negotiated
know
a lot.
that.
Yeah, like it was
That's
a
amazing.
very great process. But Ornare won, and they are designing the Upper Grande. The
And we're
Upper
very,
Grande,
very
sorry.
We are designing.
We
the
are.
Upper Grande. Yeah. So
Our whole team.
Yeah, it's a group effort.
So, to the Upper Grande. Melissa, we wish you were here. Okay. And Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry! And my dad, but I think he's next door. I poured that horribly. Let me give you this one. Okay. Just bear with me. And I don't have champagne glasses in here.
I feel like I'm navigating in front
Don't
of this
worry,
mic.
I'll get it to you.
No.
I'll get it to you. Okay. So let's tell everybody about the tea we just spilled on that.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Cheers.
Okay. Happy
It's a
Friday.
lot of tea.
To Ornare by the Upper Grande.
Thank you.
Cheers to
Cheers.
that. ASMR. Oh, come here.
What you filming?
My dad just popped in, but we
Hello,
want
sir.
you to give a special toast. You could.
How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see
We just
you.
spilled the tea that
How much
Ornare
tea did I miss?
won the Upper Grande.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
So
You did?
yes.
Oh, this
you
is-
didn't
Oh,
know?
you didn't know that?
No, this is when we get a class.
Melissa didn't tell you?
Wait, yeah.
Oh, this is a celebration. Oh, we could be neighbors. Yeah, they
Isn't
get-
that amazing?
Yeah.
Okay, he's always got to be involved in everything. Okay, so
I guess it's
Ornare.
really tea when your dad doesn't even know.
I told you,
Yeah.
we just found out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you guys, you know,
Me and Melissa were screaming and jumping and hugging in the office. We were so excited.
we are.
So, as Alan and I were saying in the beginning of the episode, like, Kismet magnetic law of attraction. Like, we have to tell that story too now that we spilled it. But so since Ornare just won the exclusive bid for Upper Grande, just tell us what the vision is.
Westcott, let me check. Give me 1 second. Whoa, I'm almost the last to know.
Yeah, so they won
When was this official?
this week, right?
Yeah, a few days ago.
Oh, okay. I'm only a few days behind.
Cheers.
So the Upper Grande and Ornare.
And our new neighbors.
Yeah.
It looks great, by the way. I saw your video touring, and all the ladies were standing behind because of the mud. And I'm like, I was literally in boots too.
Okay.
Like
On there.
when I was there, yeah. No, you're roll up your sleeves and get to work. You know.
Well, we're
So what did I miss?
we're finishing the
That's the
episode.
best tea I heard all day.
So my dad just invited himself to the episode. Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers. And we're finishing up, but we're just going to actually talk about Upper Grande. So I'm going to ask these questions, and then we're going to end with the fun stuff. So tell us what the vision is for Ornare at Upper Grande.
Yes. So I think the design team that's involved is working with our design team on creating a transitional space. So they don't want to, lean in too much on the contemporary, but they want aspects of contemporary style and to kind of have the traditional like shaker style, but a new spin on like the traditional shaker
love
style.
that.
When
Yeah.
you say new spin, what towards?
You have to talk into
Transition,
here.
Excuse me? Oh, it's okay.
Yeah, transitional. So it's it's
we
modern.
were just talking about how that is the trend now.
Yeah. Yes, I think it's contemporary, but it still feels like it pays respect to traditional style.
Convention
Yeah,
and all this.
yeah.
So Upper Grande, it was going to be.
Am I on mic?
He invited himself to the episode, so we're miking him up now. Welcome
I love
to
this.
a day in my life.
We're gonna keep going.
I'm a conventional
Dad's
kind of
here.
guy. I appreciate
Yeah.
convention. How about that?
So, okay, as I was saying, the Upper Grande is just going to be out of this world in general because of it's in Rockleigh. It's by an amazing team. It's going to be super exclusive, 25 units. Like, it's just going to be pure luxury. But now that Ornare is in the mix, we are so excited because I feel like now even the price points, like it is just going to.
We'll just have another name to drop now. Just,
Exactly.
Realtors, we love when we're selling luxury, and now we're going to drop the Ornare name
Yeah.
right now.
It's basically going to be another showroom for you here.
No, but that's exactly what we're looking for because it's not just kitchens. We're doing
The closet.
all the closets.
I heard
installed.
about the closets.
Yeah.
No,
and I
their
think
closets are
innovation.
like a dream.
You know you're doing my house soon, right? You know
Yeah.
that, right?
That's going to be great.
That would be an honor.
My mom's going to be like,
We're
upgrade.
excited.
What was I going to say? Oh, what the closet in their showroom, it's the one in the, you know what I'm talking about, the one in the left?
Yes.
Because when you walk into the left, what is the material?
With so we use real soft wood particles, and then
Yeah, also
there's
a fabric, correct?
Yeah, yes, we
flat,
use
though.
leather, leather
Velvet
handles,
drawers,
Yeah.
I remember.
boucle
Boucle.
backing.
But you open it and there's like a hidden vanity, like for your jewelry, makeup, like
Everything's
that you sit at.
compartmentalized, and
It's
yeah.
gorgeous.
So we're going to work with you or with Alan?
That is Alan.
I'm sorry, I meant Tom.
It's okay.
No, I met the two of you guys. at
It's
the
okay.
same
We look
time.
alike.
Alan is-
So much alike, really.
Oh my gosh.
So
I mean,
we
he
gotta
calls
work
me
with
the
Alan
dog's
and you.
name, so I wouldn't like be offended. All right, so what excites
Wait,
you
you didn't
most?
answer my question.
What?
Are we going to work
Both
with
of
you?
us.
Both of them,
You
the
get
whole
both
So it's a
the
team.
whole package. Yeah.
And
you
your
get alpaca.
architect, I love her so much. Who's building the plans? I'm blinking. I love her.
Jessica Paca.
She's incredible. What excites you most about working on Rockleigh's first luxury development?
I think it's going to be it's a big deal because I don't think most developers lean into doing like a whole, kitchens, closets, not just the primary closets. We're talking about like every single closet,
Yeah.
Package,
the full package.
Guys, this is not like just I don't want to say names, but a out west California. I mean, out
Let's
west
just say,
closet.
so this is LA, California.
Yeah. Yes.
No, I'm not mentioning any brands, but this is next level, not just functionality, design. It is art.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, every closet, it's going to be a moment. It
Right.
feels like, the lighting design, the materials used, fabrics that are being used, leather, and people can feel good because it's a sustainable company.
Not only it's truly a custom look.
It's 100% custom,
and that's what we're selling.
Yeah.
We'll sell
I mean, they
luxury.
worked months on building these plans out. That's how custom this project
It's going to make it easier for us because we're selling luxury, and this is just the final package. As
It's
a luxury
gorgeous.
finishes.
We are so excited.
never been done before, I don't think.
No.
Yeah.
There's going to be a big splash in Bergen County
So-
from Mary, as well as for all the developers. We're like, who did
Yeah.
the closet? Who? The big secret. But I guess it's not a
Alan
secret
and
anymore.
Tom, Ornare. So now that the tea is spilled on that, tell the funny story of how it happened. Like the day you went to lunch with Susie,
Yes.
you texted and reminded you to text me, or
Our showroom wasn't even open yet. And
Yeah.
we were touring a property in Monmouth County.
To live?
No, just to potentially do an install.
Oh, because you had already
Yeah.
purchased. You were
Right,
waiting for
yeah,
closing.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and we were for the Ornare team.
Got
was,
it.
Potentially looking into working with an agent out there who was selling a house, a beautiful house, and
Right.
we were looking at the kitchens and closets and such, and Susie was there, Susie on Eklund Gomes, and we sat down for lunch, and she's like, Victoria lives in Bergen County. You're moving to Bergen County. You should probably call her. I'm like, okay. Yeah, I totally
Was this
forgot.
in 2024?
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Alan and I were literally like besties in New York, but we lost touch. Just I moved like
COVID.
Well, COVID. hit, so I remember
Well,
COVID.
actually,
Yeah,
that's really
and I became
happened.
a cat lady. And,
You became a cat lady?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, I just started
lesbian
to
cat
collect
lady.
cats and
How many you have now?
yeah, I have 2 cats and a dog.
Alfie.
Yeah.
I have a client who's got about 7 cats.
Oh.
I mean, when you have one, you can have like 7.
No.
Like that's my worst.
I'm not going to
nightmare.
agree with you on that. No way.
Okay, so he
I'm a
had
back
lunch with
dog.
Susie. He texted me. He's like, "Hey, girl, I'm moving to Bergen County," and I'm like, "What, Alan?"
I know. I you know
I was
what?
so excited.
I love it here. I really do. I think a lot of people are gonna fall in love if they give it a chance.
Well, we're going to have a whole display
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Showroom, for sure.
Oh no, he means New Jersey.
New Jersey.
For you, talking about New Jersey.
People,
yes,
he thinks people.
I think there's a stigma
Are you calling New
attached.
Jersey being snobs? Is that what we're trying to
people
say?
being snobs
Let's
to New
spill the
Jersey.
tea. I think New York City has a lot of,
Alan had to be
has-
convinced, but he is obsessed.
I was.
Hey,
yeah.
you speak to someone who was born and raised in New Jersey
Yeah.
for many, many years.
Yeah.
Many.
So
Well, my partner is born and raised in New
Yeah.
Jersey.
There you go.
Yeah. So like I
Tom,
live and breathe it.
I
Yeah.
bless you, Tom, for getting him over here. I love
Hey,
you,
just
Tom.
like my son-in-law who complained about Jersey, he's kind of liking
Oh,
Jersey.
he loves his Jersey life.
But
Oh, right, he's not
but
from
he'll
New
never
Jersey.
tell
No.
you that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm open about it. I'm like I'm
You're
like
out
I
of the
love it.
closet?
Yeah, I'm out of the closet about loving New Jersey.
Okay, good.
I say it all the time. I'm sitting in a friend yesterday. I was telling Victoria, and he was like, it's okay to say you love New Jersey. You can love New York City too. Like
Give me
it
3
doesn't
quick
mean
things what you like about New Jersey. 3. Go.
the food. I think.
Well, New York has
I think.
good
Well, I
chef
think if you like Italian food,
You have good
yes.
time.
yeah, good Italian food. Maybe it's just like suburban living, but I like to get in my car now and
Yeah.
get
Right?
from
Isn't
point A
that
to B
crazy?
instead of,
This is why
you know,
I can
yeah.
never live in New York City. I love to visit,
Yeah.
but I like to have my own car, my
What's
own
number 3?
transportation, and
Yeah.
I can't rely. Someone was asking me today about the bus from Little Ferry to New York. I'm like, I've never taken a bus in my life. It sounds like, I have. Don't get me wrong. I've taken the bus to go to school, but I've never
Get
taken the
back
bus
in
for
your office.
transportation.
Put those deals together.
I'm
Never taken the bus in my life.
I'm suburbia. I can't help it. Bicycle,
People
moped,
take the bus
cars.
into the city.
I mean,
though.
but it's
That's
it's
not
like,
me. That's why I never worked in New York City.
I mean,
Remember
you
I
take
used
the
to never
bus, you
take
take
the subway?
train. Yeah.
That's why.
Look,
He'd be like, "Don't go on the subway; you'll be killed."
I love New York City, but I want to have my own car in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, look, I drive into New York City now when I have to go
Yeah, I'll
to the
drive.
city. You know?
Every event we drive.
I,
You know, like
I
the-
moved here with the, I was like, oh, I'm going to take the train or
Right.
take the bus,
That was
you know,
short-lived.
and
Yeah,
immediately
right.
I was like, I'm going to drive.
Yeah.
Congestion pricing, who cares?
Yeah.
Like,
Susie loved the congestion
Yeah.
pricing.
Yeah, I can't do transportation.
Okay.
Let's do an Uber.
yeah, you can Uber.
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
You know, I have friends.
Oh,
who
Michael
come
and I
here from the
always
city.
Uber when we go out to
Yeah.
dinner there. We're going bowling tomorrow night in the city, so we'll probably Uber.
Fun.
If you guys want to come.
Yeah.
Really?
I don't know. I'll have to talk to
Okay.
Tom.
All right,
Yeah.
are you jumping out?
I'm going to jump
All right,
out.
because
I have
we're
to wrap up
ending with the
day.
fun stuff.
I'm going to put this down.
But we're very excited.
Congratulations again.
Yeah.
Thank you. I didn't
Cheers
know about the
again.
good news. That's crazy.
I'm glad you
How
found
about
out.
last drop?
See, I'm glad he found out on my episode of Tea with V, because this is really.
Someone told me, Melissa, but it's okay.
I was shocked.
Well,
That you-
I'm proud of you guys. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Take care.
I think I'm the only one that cares about full circling our stories that we get ADD from. But
We do have ADD.
Alan texted me. He said, I'm moving to Jersey. Let's go to lunch. I want to like see what life is going to be like here. Can it be like New York? Like, will I lose my social life? I was like, shut up. Meet me at Demora's for lunch at noon, whatever. And I showed up with two of my friends, Blaine and Melissa. And it was me, Blaine, Melissa, Alan, and Tom. And we had like a 3-hour lunch.
It was actually, we went into dinner time because they were setting up
We
for
did.
dinner. But it was amazing because it solidified for me that like, okay, I'm making the right
can do it.
decision.
But Melissa, one of my friends and agents on the team, is the Upper Grande is her project. So that's how it all came full circle.
Yes.
And now here we are today from our first lunch together when you moved here.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't even moved here yet. You didn't
I
close yet.
wasn't. Yeah. We were still commuting.
Now toasting to the biggest project ever.
Yeah.
Like, fuck yeah. Go us.
Cheers.
Yeah, I'm really excited. All right, so we got to wrap, even though I can talk for an hour, but Evan's looking at me.
I'm just warming up. So.
Yeah, I know, me too.
Like,
All right, Evan, you could go
Yeah.
home. Just leave the cameras rolling. I'm kidding. Okay, so now I want to do some rapid fire questions.
I
so,
am nervous.
so fun. No, it's just fun.
Okay.
Just you can answer like just whatever comes to your head. Go to drink.
Sancerre.
Did you say that to me? Did you tell me that before?
I did.
Oh, that's why I wrote it. It's Friday. Sancerre. Yeah, elevated. We love it. Is there a specific one you love? Why do you love Sancerre?
I think it's smooth. It's not so fruity.
Yeah.
But it has like good fruit notes. And I don't drink alcohol as
Right.
I used to.
Right.
So I can enjoy it.
You can enjoy it. I like that. Okay. Favorite design trend right now? I think you kind of told me that, but tell me we talked about Ornare. Tell me your personal favorite design trend, like that you would do in your home.
I think color drenching.
Tell us about that.
I still love it. I thought it was a dying trend, but I like painting the trim and a door and a ceiling all one
Yeah, all
color
one.
and just completely leaning
Right.
into like color drenching the whole room.
I love that.
I don't
How do you
like
feel
the
about
layers.
wallpaper?
I love wallpaper. I love wallpaper. I want to wallpaper all the entire hallway.
Same.
Like grass cloth, make it warm.
Yes.
Texture.
So Alan's in the middle of their renoing their home, so I'm excited to see it transform.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your guilty pleasure?
Pistachio ice cream.
Give me something juicier than that, Alan.
Guilty pleasure.
We do love pistachio gelato.
Ice cream, yeah.
Yeah. Come on, give me a good guilty pleasure that nobody knows about. Maybe Tom knows.
I don't think I have anything.
Talking to your cats?
I mean, I am a cat lady.
Yeah.
Breastfeeding my cat. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No.
Remember when you were pregnant?
They're all my babies. I birthed all of them. I love them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really have.
All right, you're going to circle back on
Yeah,
that.
I will.
One thing people would be surprised to learn about you.
I'm pretty handy and hands-on.
You already told us that. Give us new tea.
Yeah.
I'm going to be hard.
Okay, fine. I'm very open about this.
Okay.
I started Ozempic.
Ooh, yes.
I'm open about it because I think that people try this are trying this drug and it works and they're not very forthcoming about it and
know.
there's people are getting shamed.
Why is it
for
such a bad stigma or shameful?
I don't know. I think maybe it creates this appearance of like you're not like disciplined and you're just
Like
lazy.
you can't do it on your own or
yeah,
something.
right. And I think that's BS.
That's bullshit. Don't listen to
Yeah.
people. We're not doctors. Disclaimer. We don't know. This is our personal opinion.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors, but we don't
But I
believe
am-
in shaming people
Yes,
or
no.
fat shaming.
Yeah, I think do you?
Yes.
And I'm working with like a doctor
Yeah.
on my journey, and I think I've always struggled with weight loss and just weight management, not
Yeah.
weight loss. Management is the key because it's like I think it's a mental barrier.
I was gonna say maybe even just the relationship with food or the
Yes.
topic in general about weight loss.
Yeah, right. And the stress that comes with it.
Right.
You know? So like.
Which makes you keep weight on.
Right.
Because your cortisol.
Because you're stressed.
We're gonna have another episode just about this. And
I
seriously,
think we should because as like time progressed, because I'm just starting, and
No, but like Alan and I, the two women that we are, I'm kidding. But like
you work out like hard.
No,
like,
I don't.
Yes, you do.
I used to.
Well, yeah, but like
Yeah.
like I do. Like when I go to the gym, like
Right.
we go to the gym.
Right.
Like we're there.
Right.
And we work out.
Right.
Right. So like we don't just go and just
No, I try and eat very healthy. I like to
Yeah.
indulge, like, and have my things, but like at home, it's
Mm-hmm.
all clean. But over the years, I mean, just this is a whole nother topic, but just like stigma and society and keeping up, like we've both, and you're open
Girls and
about it,
gays.
the girls and gays, so I can talk openly, but we struggled with that. Like Alan and I would sit at a restaurant or at drinks, like alone, no one would be hearing yet, and we'd be like, do I look fat? No. Do I look fat? Do I look? No, you look so good. Do I look fat? And we would like be saying this. We were young. We were like 25 and we're beautiful. And instead of just like living and being at whatever amazing lounge we're at or having fun or gay dive bar, like we were consumed with like,
This
do we look
negative thought,
fat? Yeah. And I feel so bad for young us living that way.
I know it's such a waste of time.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's just to not have to think about that.
My doctor says it's just a helping hand.
Yeah.
Dr. Sherry Sakowitz. Stay tuned because she is coming up. She's incredible. In love with her. Okay. If Ornare was a celebrity, who would it be? This is good because this has to be like,
Monica Bellucci.
I love that answer.
Yeah. I love her. I think
She's like my style inspo for everything,
I didn't know
right?
that. Yeah.
Like my wedding.
But oh really?
Yeah.
It explains your wedding photos.
Yeah.
But like that, it's she's like very classic,
Yeah.
chic, Italian, voluptuous, and
Vav.
yeah. No, I think Onare is very subtle
Yeah.
but chic
Yeah.
and stylish and classic.
Yeah.
but still contemporary and timeless.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Just Monica Bellucci. I love that. Like if when George Clooney's in Lake Como,
yeah.
then he's Ornare. Not when he's
Well,
here though.
I mean, when you talk about like objects like cabinetry or cars, and it's usually female,
right.
but there's no gender.
Right. I'm like, yeah, totally. Okay, spill the tea on your favorite moment from my wedding.
I think, first of all, your wedding was gorgeous. It
Grazie.
was stunning. It was probably like the best wedding I've ever been to.
I love you.
No, it really was. It was like everything was
Thank you.
romantic. I can't remember like one specific moment, but I think what really stuck with me was the exchange of vows.
Really?
Yeah, because when you started like, Michael, I'm obsessed with you.
You were
And I'm like, okay, keep going. And I actually cried. I did.
Oh my God.
Because it was a very romantic setting, and I sound really gay.
No. I'm gay too.
You are.
I am a gay man.
But it was beautiful because I think we were in New York City in our 20s, going through the throes of life and business and romance, and I don't know, I guess like we can be melodramatic.
Yeah.
And
Just a tad.
and to like see you in that
You're
position.
gonna make me cry.
Yeah, no, it was really nice. And like
because-
I want like I'm like, oh my God, like I want that. You know?
You have
And
it, and I can't wait to be at your wedding. No, but you make me want to
Yeah.
cry because, like, yeah, you saw me through my biggest heartbreaks and
Yeah.
meeting like distressed 24-year-old me in a lobby.
Yeah.
But yeah,
you know, we've been through the ringer.
and
right, in New
like
York
I had
City.
moments
Yeah.
of like it's never gonna work out for us. Like
Yeah.
you just think that because you feel so down, and then and I'm
Yeah, you
obsessed
feel
with my
hopeless,
husband.
right? And then here we are in your beautiful wedding.
You know, writing my vows, like I was trying to think of all these like romantic things to start with, and I'm like, I'm just obsessed with him, so I'm just gonna say that.
And that's real.
Yeah.
Like that's like, you know, like it doesn't have to be like a, you know, ChatGPT my
Right.
vows, like make it very eloquent, you know,
Right.
like no, it was like this is your voice,
Right.
and this is how you feel, and I loved it. I
Love
thought it was
you.
really cool.
Well,
Yeah.
the wedding video came back, and
Which is
We have to
what
watch
the
it.
first thing Tom sent to me. He's like, I want this. By the way, you have to share your
who?
like your
The
videographer,
Oh,
your like everything.
You just need to hire everyone I hired. Just
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with them. No, like my wedding
Yeah.
planner, Tracy, come here so we can have an episode with you. Obsessed with her. So like obviously aesthetic, right? And I feel like being in real estate, like film and photography,
Yeah.
like are important to us. We look at it all day. Like we do photo shoots for listings. So I like had my people almost before I even was engaged. Like my photographer, I found Elisabetta through my wedding planner, but the film people I had followed on Instagram, and being the melodramatic wusses that we are, like I'm a sucker for a love story. So they're actually a married couple from Spain.
Oh wow.
And like they're just so in love. So I feel like they capture love in a different lens. Like, and they're artsy and cool, and it's editorial. And I was like, yeah, that's
Editorial is key.
right.
It looked like a
Yeah.
magazine spread. Like
Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna send you the full video that just came out, and we could cry together.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I think we're unfortunately wrapping, even though I could talk forever.
I know, we're just warming up.
I know.
Yeah.
Will you come
we have
back?
it to be continued.
To be continued.
Yeah.
Episode 2. Let us know what else you
Yeah.
want to hear from Alan.
I'll be skinnier.
You're beautiful. Shut up.
I'm kidding.
So let's pimp you and Tom out. Tell us where to find you guys.
We are at the new Paramus Design Center, and we're right next door to Artistic Tiles.
Perfect. And their Instagrams are
Tom, Ornare and Jay,
okay.
and Alan Chorm.
And we will tag them so you can follow. And if you're looking for the perfect gay best friend couple, get in line because they're mine.
Unless I'm being replaced by Martin.
No, never. I'm kidding. I will share. I definitely will share. I'm looking forward to our
There's-
life
yeah.
together here in Jersey, and
too.
and now like officially working together.
Yeah, you're gonna see us a lot.
I didn't think I thought we'd be working like on a listing together when we met, and
But this is what life had
crazy.
planned for us.
It is.
Yeah, I think it's
love
gonna
you.
be like what?
I love you so much. Oh, okay. Well, cheers to us on the Upper Grande.